Hi, and welcome to a quick video on algebra using angles and polygons. So this is the basic setup. We have some triangle here. We want to work out the value of x. This one's fairly straightforward. We know the fact that in any triangle, all the angles will always add up to 180 degrees. So I just add together my three angles, and I know that must equal 180 degrees. From here, your next step will be to simplify your left-hand side, basically grab it all together. So in total, I have 4x plus 100 there, and then just solve that equation. So taking away the 100, 4x is 80, and I'm left with x being 20 degrees. So that's the most basic idea. Again, we're just combining basic algebra, solving equations with angles. Okay, the questions will get slightly harder. In a sense, we'll have more sides to shape. So here we have the exact same idea for a four-sided shape. And again, you should aware of the fact that like a rectangle or a square, angles in a four-sided shape will add up to 360 degrees. And you would go out the exact same way. You would add together your four angles, put that equal to 360. You would then simplify down your left-hand side. So we have x, 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 and 2x, that is 5x. Plus 15, 5, and 20, that's 40, and that equals 360. And then just as before, we would then solve that resultant equation. So here x will be 64. Okay. However, what you might be aware of is how many angles, shapes, and more sides have in them. So for 3 sides it's 180, 4 sides it's 360. What about 5, 6, and 7? So there's two ways you can work this out. One way is you can carry on that same pattern. Each time you add one side to your shape, you need to add on 180 degrees. So for a 5-sided shape, it would equal 360 plus 180 degrees, which will be 540. And you can keep on doing that. Okay, that works absolutely fine. The way it's often talked is expect you want to just get like a large number, a large-sided shape. You just take the number of sides in the shape. So in this case, it's 5. Take away 2. And then times answer by 180, and that will also give you 540. So to work it out for like an n-sided shape, the general rule, you would do the number of sides, which is n, take away 2, and times that by 180. So let's just fill in quickly here for these last two. So for a 6-sided shape, it will be 6 minus 2 times by 180, which gives us 720. And for a 7-sided shape, we would do 7 take away 2 times 180, which gives us 900. And again, you can see that each one is 180 more than the last one. So we can now use this to solve this type of question. So here's slightly aside from what we're doing in this video, but it's still important. Find x's regular polygon. So for a regular polygon, we know that all these angles are the same side. So what we can do, we know that in total, all the angles together must equal 540. Again, number of sides minus 2 times 180. And if we have 5 sides, to get one of those sides, we just do 540 divided by 5. So therefore x is 180 degrees. Notice this technique only works when it's a regular polygon, which means all the sides and the angles are the same length. So moving on to more typical exam style questions. Here we have a hexagon, and we can do the same idea. I won't do all of this question. So your first step, you would work out what all the angles add up to, which in this case is 720. And then you would just add up all these angles together, put it equal to 720, and then solve that resultant equation the exact same way we did this question here, just with like more x's and numbers. Okay, this is what they tend to be showing in exams. So given that angle ABC, so ABC is this angle here, is double angle BCD, which is this angle here, we want to find out the size of angle ABC. So we want to work out this. We want to apply some sort of algebra to this. So we're told this angle is double this angle. So that means I can call this 2x and this angle x. Okay, then we can approach it the same way as before. We have a 5-sided shape. We've seen from that angles in a 5-sided shape add up to 540. We would then add up all my angles. So 2x plus x plus 240 plus 30, and don't forget 90 degrees from the right angle. That gives an equation, and then same just as before, we're going to group together my left-hand side. So I have 3x. I then have 240 plus 30 plus 90. Again, you get a calculator, add that together, and that will give you 360, I think. Yep. And that equals 540. And then solve the equation the exact same way. We're going to take away 360 from both sides. That gives us 180. Sorry about that. And therefore x will be 60 degrees. Okay, and let's see how else they can throw that idea. So here, same format. We are told this following shape has one line of symmetry, hence find the value of x. So we can see just by inspection that a line of symmetry is straight down the middle. Sometimes they give it to you, sometimes they don't. That means all the angles on the right are going to be the same as all the angles on the left. So I can fill in both these angles. And then we're in the exact same place in a normal question. Here we have a hexagon, it's got 6 sides, so therefore all the angles must add up to 720. And then we'd add together what we've got. So to do a bit quicker this time, we've got 2 x's. We've then got 2 90s and 2 137s. So we're going to add those together. 90 plus 90 plus 137 plus 137. That equals 454. And altogether, that equals 720. And then we would solve that equation. Okay, last exam style question. This goes back into regular polygons. So we have 2 regular pentagons and a regular octagon as shown. And we want to work out the value of x, which is that thin sliver there. So for the octagon, I need each of what's called the interior angles. I need to work out that angle there. Because it's regular, they're all going to be the same. So we know that all of them combined would add up to a total of 1080 degrees. If I want one of them, and there are 8 altogether, I just do that divided by 8, which tells me that this angle is 135 degrees. I then do the exact same thing with the 2 pentagons. For each pentagon, I do 5 minus 2 times 180, which gives me 540, and then I do that divided by 5. So each of those is 108 degrees, and then needs to be pretty much done. We know that angles around a point equals 360 degrees, so we add together the 3 angles we've got, the 2 108 and the 135, and then we take that away from 360 degrees, and we can see that x is going to be 9 degrees. Okay, that's it. I hope that helped. Again, if you're ever unsure of any of these questions, my main piece of advice is try and think somehow how can you put an x down somewhere to then turn it into an equation that you can then solve. Okay, thanks for listening.